Breaking news tonight. A devastating accident on the West Side Highway takes the life of legendary 60 Minutes newsman Bob Simon, the award-winning journalist, 73 years old. Good evening, everyone. I'm Maurice Dubois.
And I'm Christine Johnson. CBS 2's Jessica Schneider is live at the scene of tonight's crash. She joins us from the West Side with more. Jessica?
Christine and Maurice, that fatal accident unfolded right here at the West Side Highway at 30th Street. The Lincoln Town car that Bob Simon was riding in was going southbound right here when it lost control, hit another car, and then went into this center median. The impact killing longtime CBS newsman Bob Simon.
The incredible story of how a 6-year-old Jewish boy survived the Nazis' final solution.
Bob Simon spent 5 decades covering wars overseas and stories here at home. In 1991, Simon became a headline himself. While covering the Gulf War in Iraq, Simon and his crew were taken as hostages by Iraqi forces near the Saudi-Kuwaiti border. Iraqis accused Simon, who is Jewish, of being a member of Israeli intelligence. He was subjected to torture, even worse than what his 3-man crew endured, and all were finally released after a special plea from then Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev.
It was snowing, it was freezing. Why?
In 1996, Bob Simon started at 60 Minutes. He traveled the world as a foreign correspondent, and his work earned him 27 Emmy Awards, along with countless other prestigious journalism distinctions. Just this past Sunday, Bob Simon produced a piece on the movie Selma. But Wednesday night around 6:45 p.m., this livery cab Simon was riding in on the West Side Highway careened out of control, hit a Mercedes that was stopped at a red light, and then slammed into the center median. Police found Simon in the back seat unconscious and with injuries to his head and stomach. Bob Simon was pronounced dead at nearby St. Luke's Hospital. He was 73 years old and a legend at CBS and all throughout the news industry. His colleague and CBS Evening News anchor Scott Pelley broke into programming to break the news to viewers.
Bob's daughter, Tanya, is a talented producer for 60 Minutes, and tonight our thoughts are with Tanya and Bob's family and his many, many friends.
And this statement from 60 Minutes executive producer Jeff Fager: it's a terrible loss for all of us at CBS News. It is such a tragedy made worse because we lost him in a car accident, a man who has escaped more difficult situations than almost any journalist in modern times. Now, the NYPD says the 44-year-old driver was taken to Bellevue Hospital. He was the driver of the Lincoln Town car. He's listed in stable condition. At this point, there are no arrests, and the investigation is ongoing. We're live on the West Side Highway. Jessica Schneider, CBS 2 News.
Jessica, thank you.
And we have Jeff Fager on the telephone right now. And Jeff, as we try to grasp this news tonight, someone so universally loved and respected, what are your thoughts right now?
Yeah, Maurice, it's quite a shock, obviously, for all of us up here at 60 Minutes, and I think everybody at CBS News is his extended family, really. He's just so well respected, and the other thing about Bob, in addition to covering just about every story you can imagine, he's just fun to be around and loved reporting and driven, I think, as you hope a reporter is driven, by a natural curiosity. And really took him all over the world in some of the most difficult situations, including his own detainment by the Iraqis during the Gulf War, and which was an incredibly difficult situation to get through. Makes it even more tragic that he dies in a terrible car accident tonight.
Jeff, you mentioned that natural curiosity that was his drive. Can you take us behind the scenes and give us an example of that, maybe a memory that you have?
You know, Christine, he couldn't do enough. I mean, it was as if I said, you know what, Bob, I have a really good story and it's halfway around the world, he'd be on his way before he knew what it was about. He just wanted to go out in the world, and he was really insatiable that way. He loved it. And I think that you hope that that's the way it is with a reporter, or I think in any aspect of life, that you just have a hunger for it, a desire for it. He loved what he did, and that was from the moment he started at CBS News, a long and brilliant career and a body of work that I think is really difficult to match.
Okay, well, Jeff Fager, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts tonight. Our deepest sympathies and condolences out to you and his family as well.
Thank you very much, Maurice and Christine.
Thank you, Jeff.
Well, the tributes for Bob Simon pouring in all over from social media tonight. Scott Pelley tweeted, quote, "One of the great writers of a generation is past. Bob Simon was a journalist of extraordinary courage."
Dan Rather says, condolences to the family of my friend and longtime colleague, CBS News correspondent Bob Simon.
And 60 Minutes correspondent Anderson Cooper wrote, quote, "Bob Simon was the best writer, in my opinion, working in broadcast news. I've admired him from the time I was a kid watching CBS News." And for all of the latest information on the accident, as well as a look back at Bob Simon's life, you can head to cbsnewyork.com.